tension is rising in Kosovo, or at least the northern part of Kosovo, with Serbia again. Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the headlines for the situation happening now in northern Kosovo and in Serbia. A lot of people might not know what's happening now because it's not very widely reported, but tension is rising and it looks quite serious. And so let's start off with what's happening right now. So on the 26th of May, ethnic Serbs within Kosovo, that means they are somewhat Kosovo citizens, but they are Serbian in ethnic. The small group of ethnic Serbs in northern Kosovo actually clash with the police because they are trying to block the entrance to the municipal buildings, and the police, fired tear gases. Several cars were set ablaze. So this all, started, with it happened at Zvenkan, Leposavic, Zubin Potok, some of these towns, and where there is like 16 to 18,000 ethnic community of 16 to 18,000, and the ethnic Albanian mayors wanted to enter the municipal building. However, they are blocked from going in. This clash then caused Serbia to raise their army to the highest level of combat readiness. This is ordered by the president of Serbia, Aleksandar Vucic, and he basically ordered and announced this thing. And they have been sent to the border of Kosovo, and as he announced on live television that there is this terror happening against the Serb community within Kosovo, and urgent movement of troops to the Kosovo border has been ordered. I just realized I can zoom in. I didn't zoom in. So what actually happened? So on the 23rd of April, there is actually a local election in the northern part of Kosovo. However, the Serbs that lives in the northern part of Kosovo boycotted the local election. And what happened when you boycott elections is that the people that you don't like actually get into power. And that's exactly what happened, because they wanted some autonomy, more autonomy, but it was not met by the Kosovo government. And then what happened is that the Serbian List is actually the political party within Kosovo that mostly represented the Serbs. They asked their Serb community not to vote, and indeed they follow through and they did not vote. So what happened is that the ethnic Albanians and other smaller minority representatives are elected to mayoral posts and the assembly. So basically the Serbs are totally out of parliament and out of the government, and which is rather silly if you ask me, because I never encourage boycotts of election, and in fact I always tell people to take elections seriously. And this is exactly what's happening, because now the Serbs have no legitimacy, and instead they try to use strong arm methods. They block the government buildings and do not allow these newly elected people to go to work, and this is only sabotaging themselves. So this actually prompted the Quint. Quint is very interesting. Quint actually means 5 country. It actually prompted a joint statement from USA, France, Italy, Germany, and UK they condemn Kosovo's division. This is actually extraordinary, because by right these countries are the supporters of Kosovo because they are part of NATO, but they actually condemn Kosovo's division to force access to the municipal buildings, because Kosovo feels that this is illegal, so they send in the police to, you know, force their way through to open up the buildings in the northern Kosovo. Despite, you know, so they condemn the division to do this, despite they have already called them to restrain themselves, and they continue to call on Kosovo authority to immediately step back and de-escalate, and then work with ULEX and K4. K4, I cannot remember what is ULEX, but K4 is actually the NATO forces that is the peacekeepers within Kosovo, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, K Force, I think it's K Force, yeah. So Kosovo Force. So this is the joint statement, and this, they also raised the concern regarding some attacks on the European personnel, as well as Serbia's decision to raise the level of readiness of the armed forces and move them to the border. And they are now calling everyone for maximum restraint and avoid, you know, inflammatory rhetoric, which means stop insulting each other and, you know, try not to raise the temperature any higher. However, the Kosovo president, Josa Osmani, say they actually supported the police action, and of course, because the police is sent by the Kosovo government, so they said that the police action is legitimate, and then the action, in her words, the action of Kosovo police against the illegal structures of Vucic criminal gangs are legitimate in execution of their constitutional duties and in defense of all citizens regardless, so Osmani said on social media. And these remarks comes despite Albanian Prime Minister condemned this thing, EU and US have already condemned this thing, and the Kosovo president continued to press on. It's unusual. I don't think I ever remember such a break between the Kosovo authority and from their Western allies, and of course, there is also the possibility that where the Western allies are the one that actually ask them to do something like this, you know, to kind of distract Serbia, punish Serbia, or it could be, you know, a distraction to Russia, who knows. But officially, on the surface, what we are seeing is that there's a break between Kosovo and the Western allies in regards to this policing action against all these protesters of the Serb minority in Kosovo. Aleksandar Vucic, you know, in his rally in Belgrade, just as all these things happening, stepped down as party leader. This is not exactly related to Kosovo per se, but he's not going anywhere though. He's actually he actually just said exactly that. He actually forming some kind of a political alliance called the Movement for the People and the State. And then this will actually be like I believe, if I'm not wrong, alliance of political parties. So moving back to Kosovo, the Serb List, which is the minority political party within Kosovo that represents the Serbians within Kosovo, literally asked Serbia to not talk to Pristina, which is actually don't talk to Kosovo. They want Serbia and Kosovo to not talk, and until all Kosovo special forces are withdrawn from the north of Kosovo and all the forces from the occupied buildings of the municipal authorities. Basically, the Serb List, the political party, wanted Serbian support, moral support, or no political pressure or diplomatic pressure to force Kosovo to withdraw entirely with their security forces out of northern Kosovo, including the government buildings, which is supposed to be, you know, taken over by the people who are elected. And of course, the leader of this Serb List, Goran Rakic, thanked the citizens, which is basically talking to the Serbians, for the dignified and peaceful guarding of the municipal buildings. And they say that this is theirs. So they were guarding what is ours. That's what he said. And he also thanked everyone who tried yesterday and make it clear that they didn't want what belonged to other to someone else, but they only want to preserve what was theirs. So they are justifying that, you know, they are the only legitimate representative to the northern Kosovo, and all government buildings, despite the election result, only belongs to the Serbs. And I think this is outrageous, because whatever they are demanding, they could still get into power and then continue to demand that. But when they boycott the election, that actually breaks their legitimacy, and their only legitimacy now is the support of their local people and the support of Serbia. And this puts Serbia into a very difficult situation, which they requires to call an emergency meeting of their National Security Council. So this emergency meeting was announced by the Serbian president, and they say that they need to discuss what is happening in Kosovo and Motohija, and he also mentioned this to the rally that he was in. In the latest information, okay, let's do this one first. So Serbia blast NATO forces over inaction. So they basically, Serbia criticized the NATO for not intervening, because NATO is the one that is securing the security of Kosovo, and there are NATO troops that is stationed within Kosovo, but these NATO forces did not do their job to protect the Serbs, and so-called allowed brutal use of force by the Kosovo Prime Minister Albin Kurti against the Serbian people in Kosovo. So the Serbia maintained that their military combat readiness will be continue to be set at the highest level, and this is actually very worrying. So, but the foreign minister of Serbia, Ivica Dacic, I slaughtered his name, so sorry. Say that on state-run radio television of Serbia, he does try to cool things down a bit, saying that the Serbian army is not going to intervene within Kosovo. So he said that they will definitely need to protect their own people, and they hope that they will never need to go into the military intervention. However, he did say that the Kosovo's Prime Minister, Albin Kurti, is creating all this crisis, and the position of the Serbian people is getting worse and worse. And I think this is actually not wrong, because from my very vague following of what's happening over Serbia and Kosovo, the Kosovo government seems to be pushing it, like trying to slowly encroach and really try to suppress, or maybe get more or control more of northern Kosovo. And so the foreign minister of Serbia said that they are not in favor of conflict, but they are in favor of a peaceful solution to all issues. But he emphasized that everyone must know that the whole of Serbia stand behind Serbian people in Kosovo. Basically, he said whole of Serbia stand behind their people in the province of Kosovo and Motohija. So this is a little bit inflammatory, I guess, a little bit. And so he said that that's why the president ordered the raising of the level of combat readiness, but it's not because they want to intervene, but they just want to be ready for all scenarios. It's a veiled threat. It's a veiled threat of sort, but they did try to put it the way that they will not enter just like this. Which means that there is a prerequisite that as long as Kosovo do not do funny stuff, dangerous stuff, or killings, or further violence, then the Serbian military will not intervene. And this puts the NATO forces within Kosovo in a very difficult spot, because they did condemn. And when you condemn, then how are you going to deploy your forces against the Serbian military? But of course they still would do it, but there must be something going on beyond this. This is not normal. I think there's something more that's currently happening within Kosovo that we are not seeing. But anyway, Kosovo pushing it, probably expecting the West to support them because of the geopolitical balance is currently not so balanced, because Russia is pretty much out of the influence on Serbia, because they are totally detached from Russia right now, because Serbia is a landlocked country. So Russia can't really come and help Serbia, and Kosovo probably is trying their luck on the northern Kosovo issue. And probably their aim is to drive all Serbians out of Kosovo so that they can legitimately, control those lands. But Serbia still do not recognize Kosovo's independence. Is likely to, to make sure that that does not happen. Anyway, these are the headlines for Serbia and Kosovo. And do let me know in the comments what you think. And if the situation continue to escalate, I will continue to report on this thing, and I'll see how this goes. Hopefully, no violence, no war, no battles, and they can resolve all this peacefully. Thank you for watching, and do press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next update.